Mizuno Pro221. Did I say it right?
That's right. Yeah.
Perfect. Got to get used to that deal. Are the soles the same? Same amount of bounce?
Yep.
Is there any less?
Same bounce.
What do you think, Kyle?
I think that's
Engineer?
yeah, same. No change.
Okay. I agree.
Now, Keith, if you look at the back of these.
Yeah, I can definitely see that it's all centered more.
Yeah, we kind of put a little more, you say, meat behind the sweet spot?
Yeah, so you can tell we took out some weight from the heel and toe.
Okay.
Put a little more behind impact for sound and feel.
Well, definitely, I can definitely feel it. It just feels a lot more thumpy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel as hollow. Not to saying the other ones felt hollow, these just feel more that way. And I love this head shape. Just like that. Wow, the head shape's a lot more symmetrical, a little bit smaller. I like that. Ooh, flight down a little bit too, huh? That was nice. Touch higher?
Sweet spot height a little higher.
Sweet.
Ever so slightly.
That's what I'm looking for, yeah.
Yeah.
More consistent sweet spot through the set.
I love that. Because that one came out a lot flatter.
A little different window.
A lot more solid and a little bit flatter. Oh, wow.
I mean, look at that, Keith. That's
That's
kinda
insane.
What you were looking for when we were doing lofts.
Yes.
So you want a little bit more flighted, yeah?
Definitely on the lower irons.
Yeah.
100%.
No doubt. To control the distance and the
Right,
launch,
because
right?
low irons, you're not worried about yardage.
No.
You worry about distance. You worry like how far you hit it. You worry about how consistent you hit it.
Yeah.
And the less spin and the less height you have on those, the less variables. You know, because you don't want a ball doing this and getting in the wind and fluttering this and that. And if you're going to have enough spin on a low iron that if it comes out like this, and it's still going to stop.
Yeah.
And I've always had the ability to hit it higher if I wanted to. It's always been harder for me to hit it lower.
Makes sense.
And these clearly, after a couple shots, are doing that. And we're hitting into a good 15, 20 mile an hour wind right now.
Your spin there was 10,000.
Yeah.
Right where you'd want it.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And that's way better. And it's just such a little change too. It's not like a drastic club change. We have the same loft, same lie, same shaft, same weight, everything.
Yeah.
Same length, everything's the same.
That's the cool thing. These guys have already built you the exact same specs as you have. It's just a different club head, really, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it shows you how just a little difference to club head, how big of a difference it can make overall.
Makes sense.
But thank goodness, you got a guy like Kyle who I know that my shafts are the same. There's never any discrepancy there, or weights or anything, because he does a very nice job. I'm proud of his work. I think he is too, right, Kyle?
Cal is a very happy guy.
Very humble. Let's put it with that. He's a very humble guy.
That's nice too.
See, Keith, that's perfect. That's exactly
Yeah.
what we've been kind of looking for.
That's exactly what I've been looking for.
It's pretty cool to see both Grayson and Keith, how well they have the same launch every time.
Yeah.
It's not one that goes high, one that goes low. It's exactly what you're talking about. It's pretty consistent across the board.
The good thing is I could hit this high if I needed to. I have no problem doing that.
Come down with snow on it.
Right. Like, what was that apex?
130, basically.
Yeah. So
Jason Day.
I never have a problem with that. It's always a problem like this exact shot.
Mm-hmm.
Middle of the green to a front pin, trying to keep it down a little bit so it doesn't get fluttery and come up short without having to take too much club and take too much off of it. Just like that.
Beauty.
that doesn't have that extra little climb in it. Hot summer day, warmed up, probably say 75, 70, 75. I can hit it farther, but I usually don't. If I'm just warming up and hitting, like practice round range balls, probably 70. I mean, my tournament speed's always faster for some reason. I don't know if it's adrenaline or
For most,
what it is. It's always a little faster. And plus, these golf balls aren't the same golf balls I use. The other ones are a little faster and low spin.
Yeah.
So I tend to be about, if I'm using TrackMan on the range with a normal range ball, I'm honestly 6 or 7 yards shorter than I am in a tournament. So I try not to do too much like full swing yardages unless I have my ball on a normal condition range.
Yeah.
Even with TrackMan, just you can I mean, at my height and my speed, 300 to 400 RPMs on a ball can really change a lot. That's
No doubt,
3 or 4 yards.
No doubt.
People are like, oh, 3 or 4 yards. Well, like 3 or 4 yards is the difference in hitting it, plugging in the front lip or hitting it 3 feet.
Yeah.
And especially where the pins are that we play.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's money there.
Oh, there you go. So to summarize it, you look for just a little bit lower flight to you always try to get some spin off with your speed, right?
Right, like I use probably the lowest launching, lowest spin ball.
Yeah.
One of them on the market. I use X100s and I use blades. I mean,
Yeah.
we're doing everything in our power to keep spin off of.
Yeah.
And so when, you can add this little center of gravity change back here that feels better
Yeah,
and then brings my flight down better, it's a win-win.
sweet.
And,
Cool.
I think in today's technology, there are so many things that you can do to make the ball go higher.
Yeah.
Shaft, loft, the new club heads that you guys have and the bigger ones that are a little bit more forgiving. All that tries to do is get the ball higher, right? It's the opposite for a tour pro. We're trying to get it as lower and lower and lower as possible because we have no problem doing that. That's why we use clubs like this.
Yeah.
Because if not, we'd have too much spin. They would go too high, and they'd be uncontrollable to an extent. So these, when that weight is right in the center, we get the most feedback of where the ball is when we hit it, and we know exactly what it's going to do when it takes off before you even look up.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about these clubs.
That's a pretty cool insight there.
Like even that one was, a touch higher, almost like a little fade, and it still didn't flutter on me.
No, I didn't.
Like I try to hit my irons at 80%, and that's stock. If I need to try to hit one 100, if there's a front pin and I really need to get it up in the air and the greens are firm, then yeah, I'll take that risk. But usually I'm trying to just, keep them, like I said, irons are not about how far you hit it. It's about how consistent you hit it. And you're not as consistent swinging 100%.
True.